Hi, this is Thresden, and this is part 2 of an ESO Lost Depths walkthrough. I'm standing right outside my house. I just walked out the front door to test out the sound by talking to Isabel here. But let me find the other dungeon. We did the first one last time. Stories. Graven Deep, here it is. An abandoned Dwemer facility sits atop an uncharted island in the Abyssinian Sea. The perfect place for an adventure. Join Dhulef of the Mages Guild as he investigates mysterious storms, shattered ships, and the dark stirrings of Necromancer at Graven Deep. It says Dhulef and I crashed onto an uncharted island. The storm that wrecked us rose up from the island without warning. We have no way off without another ship. Alright, so the question is, where is this place? Haunted Depths is the name of the quest. Cannot be shown on a map. Well, I wonder where the dungeon is. There's the raid right there. There it is, right there. It's on Amanos. Okay. I thought the previous one was on Amanos, but this one actually is. Inside of the, what do you call this place? Amanos Station.
Glorious sunflower bouquet for my partners. How I miss them.
Oh, Wayfarer! Care to join an old pirate's crew for a quick voyage? I'm off to explore Graven Deep. It's a mysterious patch of the Abyssinian Sea that no ship ever returns from. Jump aboard if you wish to help find out why.
Who are you?
Ah, good. You have enough wisdom to ask about your captain. Some hear of adventure and climb aboard without question. Often they cause greater and greater trouble. The name's Dhulef. No need for formalities such as a captain's title.
You're a sailor?
Some might say I used to be, but in my heart, I never ceased. I once cut through the waves of the Abyssinian with vigor. However, some days back, I put that aside and joined the Mages Guild. The chance to sail into danger once more makes me quite joyful.
Why do you want to go to Graven Deep?
Why sail into danger no one returns from? For the fun, of course. More so, I'm tracing the path of a legend from history. The Druid King.
I've heard of him.
As he traveled to the Sisters Archipelago, he went through Graven Deep. I'd like to know what happened there.
Tell me more about Graven Deep.
Out in the Abyssinian lies a spot shrouded in mystery. Old pirates love to scare themselves by swapping tales about it. Any ships that enter those waters, they never come out. Some think a giant whale swallows them. Others say it's a pit to oblivion.
What do you think it is?
I heard that story many and many times in my youth. I've no idea the truth of it, but I always deemed it wise to take the warning. One way or another, I suppose I'll find out.
All right, I suppose I will too. You are about to enter a group dungeon. Are you ready to leave your current zone? Enter Graven Deep. Graven Deep. Yes, yes, this one has heard your besotted whispers about the mysterious Graven Deep. Summaril believes none of them. He has a shipment of Alakir spice to deliver, and a pack of cowardly sailors won't slow him down. Wow.
Such luck. We've shipwrecked on an uncharted island. We might never be found. No time to bask in fortune's blessing. That storm that hit us, did you see how it sprung from this island? I may have crashed onto the answer I seek.
What question do you need answered?
I'm helping a friend research the ancient Druid King's voyage from High Rock to the Sisters. His ship's log begins midway across the Abyssean Sea, right where we now stand. I must learn why the book starts here, and how that storm rose to greet us.
How do you plan to learn that?
Mate, you mean how will we learn that? Landing on this island bound our fates. We'll scour this island for clues. Whatever raised that storm must be obvious. Keep whatever else you find as payment. Once satisfied, we can leave on this raft I made.
Okay, I'll help you find what made the storm and its connection to the Druid King.
Praise Tava's breath. She had one more adventure to offer me. So, see the cliffs at the island center? We'll split up to survey them. You take north, I'll head east. Keep watch for anything that could summon that storm. Or anything druidy.
Okay, look for druidy stuff. Got it. Can you say more about the research that brought us here?
My friend, Druid Laurel, enjoys digging up ancient histories.
I know her.
These days, she's fascinated by someone called Druid King Kasserine. Long ago, he led his people to the Sisters Islands. Laurel gave me a logbook from his trip, but it's incomplete.
What did she ask you to learn?
Where the Druid King launched from when he led the Druids out of High Rock. She's tracing his path from Tamriel to Iphelon, but hit a wall. If I can find anything to advance her research, she'd appreciate it. I admit, I don't know much about this.
If you don't know much, why did Druid Laurel ask you to help?
A fair question. Before the Mages Guild, I sailed all across the Abyssean Sea. I dare claim that no one knows these waters like I do. Laurel wanted to trace the Druid King's voyage, and fortunately, this old pirate owed her a favor.
What is this island?
Looks like you and I have found what's inside the infamous Graven Deep. Can't say that this small island lives up to the legend. The speed of that storm that hit us, though, that surely does. I'd wager we'll learn more once we climb those cliffs.
Any more thoughts on the storm that hit us?
It crashed upon us with a hunger, didn't it? I can't say it was the roughest storm I've endured, but it was most certainly the fastest. Look around, though. The beach debris didn't only come from us. This has happened many times before.
I see that. Tell me more about the research that brought us here.
My friend, Druid Laurel, enjoys digging up ancient
so let's
histories.
try something different. I
These
know
days,
Druid
she's
Laurel.
fascinated by
I
someone
helped
called
her at the
Druid
Earthen
King
Root
Kasserine.
Enclave.
Ah, no wonder Tava's winds brought us together. Over the years, I've come to rely on Laurel's judgment of character. If she trusted your help, so can I. Tell me, what did you think of the Enclave? When I visited it, I found it quite serene.
Firesong Druids attacked and destroyed it. They killed many of the Stone Lord Druids there.
What? The Enclave is gone?
Yes.
Those Firesong dogs and sons of dogs! Please tell me. Laurel, how is she? Did they hurt her?
Druid Laurel is safe. I drove out the Firesong Druids.
Good, good. I haven't spoken to Laurel in some time. My preparations for this trip kept me too busy. Thank you for telling me. It seems I already owe you a debt. Now that I know she's safe, I can focus on the task at hand.
How do you know Druid Laurel?
Don't be surprised when I say this isn't my first shipwreck. A long while back, I washed up near Druid Laurel's home on Galen. She found me, full of seawater and mostly dead. Laurel didn't care that I was a stranger. She worked fast to save my life.
How'd she do that?
I prayed for Tuwaka's mercy as darkness crawled over my eyes. But then, it felt like my chest might explode. That brilliant girl cast a spell that forced air right into my lungs. I couldn't stop thanking her as I coughed and spit up briny water.
What happened after Druid Laurel saved you?
She called to others from her circle, and they carried me to their home. Over several weeks, the Druids nurtured me back to health. Laurel and her people changed my life. I quit being a pirate, began studying magic, and joined the Mages Guild.
Sounds like she was a good influence on you. What did Druid Laurel ask you to learn from Graven Deep?
Where the Druid King launched from
Okay,
when
we've
he
already
led
done
the
this.
Druid. A fair question.
Tell me more about
Before
yourself.
the Mages Guild, the sea would wash this island away before I could tell you my whole story. These days, I'm a member of the Mages Guild. Before that, most would call me a pirate. And I can't deny that it fairly describes my work back then.
Why did you join the Mages Guild?
Like most Redguard, I grew up skeptical of magic. But about 10 years back, I had a close brush with death. In that moment, I realized I wasn't yet ready for Tuwaka's journey. I prayed for more time, and it was magic that brought me back to life.
Ah, okay, I see the connection now. What did magic do for you?
My friend Druid Laurel found me on the beach. She used her magic to heal me. I didn't fail to heed Tuwaka's lesson. Once my strength returned, I sought out the Mages Guild.
Did you stop working as a pirate?
Oh, when one's a pirate, I don't think they ever fully give it up. The seawater stays in your blood. By the time I began studying magic, I'd done everything a pirate could possibly do. Stormed ships, fought sea monsters, and looted treasure galore.
Okay, let's see if this is basically telling me that there's another dialogue option I've
Looks
missed.
like you and I have found what's inside.
Oh, I want to
the
hear
infamous
about the Graven Deep legend.
Perhaps not so much a legend as a warning. Graven Deep is a blank spot on every pirate's map of the Abyssion. Don't dare enter it, they'll tell you, or you'll vanish from the sea. Like the morning fog burned away by the sun.
Did you believe the legend?
Perhaps, in a way. I've heard the warning of Graven Deep told by many and many since childhood. It became its own truth over time. And if I tried convincing a crew to come here, they'd keelhole me in an instant.
Alright. So that's all the dialogue options. What's this? Logbook of Druid Betrys. How long is this? Okay. Day 1. I, Betrys, Druid of Galen and follower of King Kassorin, have pledged to maintain the record of our journey to find a new home. I made this promise to Anwas, who believed in preserving the story of our exodus and discovery of a new land for the Druids. At one time, I served as a handservant to our king. Since landing on this wretched island, I assumed that the king has selected another to serve him. After all, there is little I can do for the Druid king from a distance. I am uncomfortable with writing. It is not something I have a great deal of experience with. My observations may not be as colorful as those written by Anwas, but I shall make an earnest effort. I start then, not from the day we set sail from High Rock, but instead, my record begins today. The day Anwas can no longer fulfill that duty. The day we once more made ready to sail and attempt to catch up with the rest of the flotilla. Day 8. My apologies for the lack of consistent updates. As I mentioned, writing is not something I am practiced with. We have left the dreaded island behind and sail south and west, following the path of the flotilla. The waters are blue, the clouds a gentle white. Rain showered us earlier, which provided a nice respite from the heat. The others gathered to thank Euphotic for the blessing. I did not. Our food stores are more than sufficient. This helps keep morale high. We have spent more than one moon cycle on the sea, and many look forward to reaching land. I sympathize. Perhaps this separation is a test that will make arrival at our new home that much sweeter. Day 22. The waters are still blue. We encountered a storm that tossed our ship a great deal, but no damage occurred, and everyone aboard survived. That is all we can ask for at this time. Day 37. I've started trying my hand at navigating using the stars. I pay attention to what the captain and his crew do to stay the course, and I mimic it. They have taught me a few things, which I appreciate. One never knows when one might become lost and need to plot a course to safety. Keeping my eye on the stars seems my best option. Day 49. Finally, after much too long at sea, we have landed. The grass here feels so light against my skin, and I love it. The air tastes sweet, especially as I walk inland. We have found the rest of the flotilla, already anchored and established a camp. King Kassorin watches from a cliff above, removed from his people but observing their progress. I believe I will strike out on my own, established a camp elsewhere on the island, not out of dislike of my fellows, but I miss one of them a great deal, and I'd like to think on him in private. While this new home shall allow my people to flourish in a way previously unknown, it did not come without sacrifices. I shall feel grateful to them for the rest of my days. Okay, that looks like monsters right there. What about over here? There's another monster right there. Okay. Uh-oh. I can probably take... Oh my god. Uh-oh. Thought I'd gotten away from was probably piranhas in here. Let's see if there's some place I can stand and maybe teleport out. Oh, there's the exit.
Together.
Who needs a group? I can solo this dungeon. Just kidding. I can solo a trash bag at least, but that's as good as it's gonna get. Target is out of range. What? That's so weird. Alright, so the exit doesn't work. I guess that makes sense since the ship is destroyed. Let me queue for the dungeon. Graven Deep, here it is. Alright, I'll see you in a few seconds.
Here we go.
Alright, we're back, and with a group this time. We've got Artur, Azazel, Cordera is our healer, Azazel is our tank, and then Artur is the other DPS.
Let's see who reaches the top first.
Oh, I ran right into that. know, I'm glad I checked. I saw an alert on my screen while I was waiting for the dungeon queue, and it turned out that somehow they had reset everyone's attribute points. So I had no attribute points put into my stamina. I would have been running out of stamina constantly if I had not realized that. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything here. What's this? Wait.
Old secrets left behind. Play with them if you wish.
Looks like a secret boss or something.
Poor mortal of weak mind.
I think I found a secret boss.
By my father's head. Dwarven construction.
Poor mortal of weak mind. No match for simple cubes. Not the most complex of mysteries, it would seem. Can you break its protections?
Alright, well everybody's joined me now. I was afraid I was going to be fighting this thing by myself. Okay, so he's got some sort of shield on him. I'm going to have to kill these things.
An imperfect design. Defend yourself, construct.
Uh-oh. Doing it again. Gotta be careful. Puts that force field on himself. And you have to kill the constructs instead.
That part. Impressive, but other secrets await. How long until one cuts you down?
Alright, that was fun. I wonder where the first regular boss is, though. I guess over here. What is going on? Where's the boss? Oh, some mobs here, looks like. Ads, I guess. Oh no. Use bristle patch. What? I do not understand the mechanics to these bosses. Oh no! Okay, so I guess you have to pull it away from the team, and then hit X, because it puts this, like, poisonous stuff on the ground. Right, now, when is the boss gonna come down? How do we get to the boss? Here he comes. Whoa! Oh my god, this is crazy. Yeah, this guy's tough. Alright, I think I did it correctly that time. For once, I did the mechanic correctly. Completely out of stamina. Just trying to finish him off as quickly as possible. Got him.
I can feel salt in my veins once more. Let's open that hatch.
Hatch? Okay. What's this? Okay, somebody completed Sunspire or something. All right. Oh no! What did they do to me? Inside some kind of shield that didn't let me attack.
Something! A map that shows the way to the station's core. Ah, soggy bullocks. The door we want is blocked. Look here. The wall's breached. Let's see where it goes.
Well, so far this dungeon's been much easier than the previous
Flooding
one.
more away this tunnel. The sea always wins.
I wonder if they nerfed the health
I
values.
think I hear
of
the
mobs or
station
something.
again.
You know, everyone was
Excellent, another
complaining.
breach. We're back in. Go have fun with that behemoth while I regain our bearings.
What? Grows in strength. I'm getting hit by those things on the ground. That was close.
Fine work. It looked fun. Now, we go north.
All right. You gonna say anything? No? Okay. Whoa.
great while since I took a splash like that.
Tell my daughter I'm here.
Tell my daughter I'm here. What? Okay. Some kind of like crying ghost.
Want to go home?
All right, and there is ocean all around us.
To swim into my jaws.
All right. Let's get to the station center. Central core is right behind... blocked again. Come with me. I recently made a new spell. It's just for fun, but it could work here.
Okay.
Go through this portal, then walk to the central room. Don't concern yourself about air.
What? Oh, we got a bubble around us, okay. Wow. Sauce is, I just can't believe the stuff they're doing now. This is on a whole nother level.
Ah, little fish, you have arrived at last.
Oops, I got too close.
Kind of you to swim right into my open jaws. Close your eyes. Gaze upon true fear. Your life shall be death.
Whoa! Ah! Oh my god, what is going on? I assume there's some sort of portal I need to go into or something? God, I'm losing health. Okay, that won't work. So, how do I get out of here? I mean, there's some things flying towards there. Yeah, I see people running into the center. I'm gonna die. Yeah. I couldn't figure it out. Your soul is fragile and requires continual aid when banished to Zelvraak's domain. Did we just wipe? Or did we kill him? No. No, we just wiped.
Darkness swallows your light. My sight will pierce your fragile soul.
God, how do I keep getting hit by that? Something I'm missing here. Okay, I'm banished. Alright, so I need to heal myself. I mean, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. Just have no idea how to do that mechanic.
My meal.
What is... Oh, everybody's dead, I guess.
The soul belongs to the Unbreathing.
Yeah, there it goes again.
No sun can reach you in the deep.
Alright, we got him. And I got the Lost Depth Scout achievement.
I'd say we found the undead source.
Alright, that was the end of it. We got the trophy. Euphotic Gatekeeper.
Laurel will enjoy this. A member of the Druid King's crew wrote it. There's a description of a meeting between the Druid King and the Weird just before he left Glenumbra. they stopped to investigate this dwarven machine. But something turned...
What do you mean?
Seems the lich you fought was a druid. It tried to kill the whole crew. Ah, but enough grim tales. Fortune truly smiled on us today, mate.
It did.
I found what I needed, and you had an adventure. Here, take some treasure I found. You earned it.
Awesome, I like treasure.
The logbook describes this island as a dwarven machine. They wanted to control the weather. That explains how it can create storms. I'll send more of the Mages Guild here to shut it down. This looks like the end of Graven Deep.
You believe the storms came from this machine?
Me? I won't dare assume anything about dwarven machinery. Without the map, I'd have no... Or that there's even a core to find. This logbook suggests the dwarves experimented with weather control here. Weather like huge storms.
Interesting. Why did the Lich continue creating storms?
That's worth exploring. We saw many undead in this station's halls. Perhaps the Lich wrecked ships to build an army, or consume souls of sailors. The ways of such creatures are dark and awful.
Yeah.
I'll ask a guild colleague to look into it for me.
What do you know about the weird mentioned at the logbook?
An interesting bunch. They live in the high rock forests, worshipping trees. I've met a few in my day, and I'm on good terms with the Beldama Wiris. I'm not sure the exact difference between weirds and druids, but don't tell Druid Laurel I said that.
Okay, I won't tell her. Why is it important that the Druid King met with the weirds?
That's a question for Laurel. The logbook's author seems surprised that they met, but may the sea take me if I know why. She'll have to tell me the significance of such a meeting when I deliver the book to her.
Okay, how do we leave this island?
Way ahead of you, mate. You saw the raft I built on the beach? I promise you, it's sturdy. I've crafted many such transports over the years. Saved my life on more than one occasion, too. This portal will return us there. Then, we float back home.
Okay, I'm gonna check out the treasure you gave me first. Let's see, we got Pangrit Den Mother's Greatsword. That's tank set. Oops. Trying to put those back on. Helmet of Phylactery's Grasp. Ooh, that looks pretty nice. Gloves of Grave Inevitability. That looks nice too. Pangrid Den Mother's Gauntlets. Alright, so that's the tank set. Just trying to collect these pieces, not necessarily wear them. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we have even two pieces from one set, but that's pretty cool. Glad to have started collecting them. Now let's see. Wait, did I miss one? This one? Okay. Unidentified Graven Deep armaments. We got Maul of Phylactery's Grasp. Alright. Let's head out the portal. Go home. And so now I can use the raft? No, it doesn't work. Oh, you have to click on it from like the exactly right angle. All right, let's go check out my new trophy. one other thing is the skill point. Right, we haven't spent our skill point. I don't have any Fighters Guild things slotted, do I? So that won't help me much. Let's do... let's keep getting the heavy armor stuff. We'll get Revitalize. Alright, now, I want this trophy to be right across from here. Here it is, Euphotic Gatekeeper. Alright, that's it. I need to take all the trophies from the dungeons I've done, from all of the newest dungeons. I want to line up this whole wall on both sides with the trophies from the DLC dungeons that have been released since I started playing the game. Alright, that's it for this episode. This is the final episode of the Lost Depths series. But next week I'll be back doing the High Isle walkthrough again. Thanks for watching. See you next time.